big ones on there. That's
We's live. Holy shit.
Oh, boys, we're live. Lovely jubbly.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, storm season. How are you, boys?
We're doing
Very
good.
lovely. Very good, thank you.
I'm living the Kanye West shades there, bro.
Power. No one should have all that power. Oh,
The clock's ticking. I'm just
Can't wait.
power.
Ows.
Shoop diddy hoop.
So we have Will, Martin, and Calvert with us. Hello,
Absolutely.
boys. It's nice to see you. For the first time meeting you, well, except for Will, I've seen you a few times, you handsome devil.
Oh, it's alright. Don't worry about it.
But you've just added another 2 handsome devils to your collection, haven't you? So we have 3 handsome devils now.
And Tom Whistle.
And Tommy.
Oh yeah.
So, boys, I said to you before we were going live that it's just usually us trying shit, right? But we do have questions for you. I think we'll go for an easy one and just ask, how did you all meet, guys?
Wow.
So it's good when you start with a very long well.
You start. Well, me and Will have been friends since we were little. We used to get fucked up in the same kind of group. We didn't actually like fucking hang around each other that much. I remember you used to have like half a head coloured. That's the memory that I've got of you. I
Wow.
was fucking around with that one girl, and I can't remember her name, and I'm 90% sure she's no longer her.
Oh, okay.
That one, if you remember. But yes, so we were fucking around, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I had the big virgin energy. It was fucking good day. You know, when you're getting like fucked up in the woods and, well, not woods, but like park and stuff, and you're like, oh my god, you know, like, and that kind of days, right? That age. And we knew of each other. And then we didn't really hang out until after, like, we didn't realize, but we actually lived like a street away from each other.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and then like I basically had not much going on. I was just working at a bar, and I think we just met at the Checkers.
Yeah, we met at Checkers.
We met at the Checkers one day, and then we were like, fucking, we actually did the House on Fire thing as well. We did the
Yeah.
House on Fire band thing, and that's how I fucking planned where you lived. But then we just started chilling out a lot and not being sober around each other a lot, and it was good times. Good times.
There were
It's
good
that-
times to not be sober.
Yeah,
Sounds good, yeah.
That's it. There's more. There's more. When
there is more.
there's a lot.
I met
Yeah.
you silly cunt. I met Martin at university,
Cool.
which was great because I have no idea how he got in. I'm sorry. Oh no, but we met at university. I think Martin was always absolutely fucking hilarious. The one I can remember is fucking, you know, we went to music uni and we're there. They're like, hey man, you know, you gotta go get gigs and stuff, right? You gotta go and really go to venues and try and find gigs wherever you can.
Sure.
And Martin just sat in front of us, just looks back and goes, yeah, I'm gonna pull up to a fucking venue with a Glock, be like, yo, give me your fucking gigs right now. It's like fucking jokes.
Obviously,
Never intending to do that.
You know what though? It's so tough out there though. You feel like you kind of, obviously not seriously, but like have to put the pressure of like a Glock into someone's face with. I mean, because it's so fucking tough. I can imagine.
No, it's not. It's not like that. There are good scenes and there are bad scenes and there are like pros and cons to every scene.
No, of course.
But like, really, it's just like it's just a game of trying to, you know, how much do you actually want to play in front of people and how much do you actually want to fucking make money or, you know, actually have a nice life. But it's one of those where we had more lessons together in theory, theory is really when we would start just ripping into each other. That was incredible. And then we started playing games together, and it was just like fucking good stuff. And then I made a band with Martin. He's the drummer, by the way.
Yes.
Right.
And we started playing together like during lockdown, and we were like, okay, this is chilling.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. But everything we made sounded very rudimentary.
Mm.
And then Will's there, being like one of the best producers that I'm like very aware of, and I'm like, yo, do you want to produce some of this stuff? And he sends us back a draft, and me and Martin are just like I'm there, like I was considering just asking Will to join the project that we were doing. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask him to do it, but I'm not going to because I live in democracy terms. So I'm like, in a band I'm in, it's gonna be a democracy as well. But
Sure.
the thing he says to me when we next talk to each other is like, yeah, I'm just gonna ask Will to join the band. So like fucking Will just gets absolutely invited into the band because he's just like fucking sexy and just
Yeah.
So yeah.
He is sexy. Fair
Yeah.
play to him. He's a good-looking man.
I
We all
agree.
are.
Yes, I mean, pretty much just sending each other, just like, Cal would send me a bass part, I'll record drum to it, Will had guitars, and then it just sort of came together like that.
That's great.
It just
Okay.
works. It just works.
So, but like, so you're both doing the same degree. I know you were doing music, but was it like in specific things? Like, were they similar?
It was the same course, but just different instruments. So I was doing
yeah.
drums, and then Cal was on the bass.
Yeah, bass guitar, the actual instrument. Whereas Martin was just doing hitting things.
Very violently hitting things. Right?
Strategically hit things and get a degree. That was it.
Which is why I should really stop fucking with him.
Those tendencies tend to pour out. So, Will, were you in my uni whilst they were in uni at the same? Were you like going to uni at the same time, just in different places, right?
It might have been slightly different time frames. I think when I got back, you might have started your first year.
Right. Okay.
And there was a couple years buffer before we started making music together.
So, and why didn't you do music, if you don't mind me asking? What was the media side interesting you more?
I think I just I'd landed myself in a bit of a rut, really, personally, and I was kind of like trying to challenge other avenues and look more at the film, because I was very invested in film as well. I had a camera.
Yes, I remember that camera perfectly.
And I don't know, I'm fascinated with both medias.
Sure.
So, I tried to incorporate into the music a lot of film aspects now.
Sure.
And
Okay.
I think I did try to apply for a music course, but there was nothing technology based at the uni either.
Right. Okay.
We want to do something to add to the list.
Sure.
So
Now-
talk to you boys.
So, I got to ask you, boys, how did you come up with the name Storm Season?
It was raining when I was writing the songs.
There we go.
It was like really rainy. We had the same kind of thing like this year, because it was last year and there was just like this rainy season, which is just fucking fantastic. It's like roughly somewhere in May, where it just keeps on fucking raining. And it happened this year, it happened last year. I'm not quite sure if it's like a thing that happens all the time, but it seems pretty. I've noticed it since like naming a band after it, but I was like, yo, it is just a storm season. I just bought a ukulele as well because, I had a lot of time, and ukuleles are cheap as shit. So I was like, yo, may as well fucking learn that thing. And I got really fucking good at ukulele, which is why there's lots of ukulele on the first two tracks.
Yeah.
Because like I was still like, yeah.
It's a pretty dominant instrument in most of our music now, because it's part of the sound, isn't it?
Yeah.
That loud melody.
Actually, you don't have you put all your instruments in the other room. It's fucking sound on the mic. It's not, well, who knows, man.
So it wasn't like anything deep. There was no like deep, meaningful thing behind it. It was just like what?
Well, I mean, no, you're right. Not really. I mean, I guess the thing is, meaning and whatnot is for me. Have you ever heard "I Am the Walrus" by the Beatles?
No, I haven't.
I
Sorry.
bet no.
It's like this song that's really cool,
Okay.
but the thing that I absolutely adored about it is that I heard a story. I don't actually even think this is true, but I heard a story when we first were. I was in college, and they were basically like, "Yeah, the lyrics are basically all just a bunch of bullshit," and that's what my college lecturers told me, and I was like, "What?" And like the idea that the Beatles could basically just write a song, I think it's actually about a poem, but a song that's just a bunch of bullshit. Listen to it if you want to, and look at the lyrics because they're fucking superb. It's just an LSD trip. It's just sick. The idea that you can like actually like then superimpose meaning over stuff
Sure.
is kind of amazing. For instance, Nirvana is called Nirvana, or they call themselves Nirvana just because I think Kurt Cobain wanted like a name that went against the sound they were going for. So they had like a very dirty sound, but the name was supposed to be very like peaceful and relaxing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Style.
Yes.
For me, it's like when you mentioned that, like your lyrics, like just loads like bullshit. I think that a certain band can get away with that kind of thing, though. Like I was just thinking to myself, like Red Hot Chili Peppers, like they put out the wackiest things, and yet everybody just fucking loves it, right? Like,
Yeah,
I love Red Hot Chili Peppers, but like some of the things that they put out literally have no meaning, and like the type of instruments they use is just like, whoa.
it's like butter, isn't it? Listening to his voice, though. His voice
I know.
alone, if he just muttered words, it would still sound good. He's got that tonality in his
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's not like that. But
No, but what you do get is that like suddenly instead of having to have meaning going in, so like, you know, I've met far too many people that are like, oh my god, and this means this, and the reason why the band has to be called this is, oh fuck no, I was in that band. I was in a band with somebody that's like that, and it's like, it was named after like the meaning of rain, and they were gonna put out a goddamn motherfucking EP, also was in there. It was basically, it was carrying on this like tradition of calling things rain, but it was like,
Yeah.
it was like rain in Algerian or something, and that was what the,
Okay.
I was like, what the fuck do we have to do with Algeria? What the fuck are you talking about? It was like, oh my god. So like, I find that kind of stuff very
control.
very contrived. Absolutely contrived. So like, the simpler the meaning, the more you can then spend time like giving it meaning.
Sure, like you interpret it your own way.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I get what you mean. Dee, do you have any questions? Oh, I feel like I'm just like hogging the boys here. I'm sorry, I'm a greedy man.
That's right. With what you were all saying earlier with performing live and stuff, with lockdown restrictions, well, finally being lifted, especially in your area, is there any specific venue or area in the country that you want to play? And are you ever going to come to North Wales, aka where we live? Because I'd well attend that. I want to jam to fucking My Love and Cash These, please.
Yeah, we will make sure to come and hit up North Wales.
Oh,
Please.
But I think
to achieve that certain tour, we'd have to be paid quite handsomely to pull it off.
Go fund me, man. I'll fucking contribute to it.
Me and Dee will fund you guys. Don't worry.
Paying up in the top left.
this is now a charity stream.
Well, me and Dee will fund you guys. Don't worry. You come up to North Wales, we'll fund you.
Yeah.
Fucking hell yeah.
I think we want to probably Birmingham just because that's basically where we're all based, and me and Calvert play with a lot of we play with a lot of other artists there, and it would be nice to actually like play with our own project
Yeah.
team where we sort of went to uni and met each other there.
You boys actually talked about the fact that you went up to Birmingham a couple of years back to Insomnia, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So I gotta ask, what did you think of it? Because like I find Birmingham very intriguing. So what did you think of it?
That says it all.
Do you, no. I was just wondering if D wanted to answer first, or do you want me to answer first, D?
The area that we went to, there was a really nice comic shop there. It's next to this hotel called Penta. Is it Penta?
Penta Hotel, yeah.
I'm gonna say Comic Connections, but I think I'm just making a random name. Maybe that's the one.
We went to that comic shop there, and that was incredible. And then there was like this kebab shop, like not kebab shop, but kebab restaurant there.
It's a Greek restaurant.
Yeah, it was really nice. But
Basically,
we got
What are you on
robbed.
about? Oh, you got robbed.
Not robbed as in like
oh,
mugged, but
Daylight robbery.
it was daylight.
Yeah,
It was daylight.
the
Fucking robbery
host-
outside.
the host that led us to a table said, "Oh, after your meal, we all have a shot," and we all had a shot. And our
And
friend
like-
said, "Oh, have one yourself." So the host gets 2 shots for himself and adds it onto our bill.
Yeah,
And our
But the
friend
fa-
still wanted to give him a tip. I was like, "Fuck off."
and the thing is, right? He was like, "Oh, it's tradition. It's tradition to have. I think it was Uso or something," and like showing them. And like, we were like, "Oh, join in, yeah!" Like, and I've been to Greece a few times, so I was putting in the old lingo in there to charm my way in there. And he made it sound like that these drinks were free as well, and we were like,
Yeah.
"Fine, let's empty that fucking bottle, boys." For me though, Birmingham, the area we drove through was really rough.
To get to the venue.
Yeah, but then once we like reached where the hotel was and like that area, it was really nice, and like the event itself was just fucking nutty. It was really good.
See, the thing is, Birmingham is honestly for me this incredible beast where we went to university in Digbeth. Now I don't know if you've heard about Digbeth, but it's quite a colourful area and it's got quite a lot of, you don't want to look down at the streets in Digbeth as much. Well,
Right.
going forward it's going to be okay, but it's just because it's littered with shit. Just trash everywhere.
Yeah.
But the graffiti
That's what we saw.
Yeah. In fact, Digbeth, right? Here's a story. There was actually filming done in Digbeth in a post-apocalyptic film.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Okay.
And they filmed in Digbeth because they actually found that they didn't have to do much to the buildings. If anything, actually, in some cases, because it just looked like a fucking bomb zone, right? You find that in Digbeth, it does kind of just have that feel where the outside looks like shit, and then you get to a place and it's gorgeous, and you're like, "What the? Why do you guys not do this to the outside?" But then, like, you walk back out and you're like, "Holy shit! Where the fuck am I? What the fuck is that? Baby, what's going on? Like, it ain't good." A friend of ours got fucking like robbed at Halloween time with a fucking. It was either a cleaver or a fucking kitchen knife.
Fuck.
Yeah, and it's just like he got everything back, but it was just like fucking. It can be a scary place.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's weird 'cause it's got a lot of nice venues and like just like weird shops there. But it's like a mix of things.
But the thing is, we kind of, I don't know. There's a lot of us that owe a lot to Birmingham. I owe a lot to Birmingham. My parents are both from Birmingham, and whilst I didn't grow up around Birmingham area, it has been like this center of culture for me, and I feel like it's just the right speed for me. I got a couple gigs in London next month, and I'm not looking forward to like being in London because it's just gonna be like zoom, and I'm just gonna be like, hello. Somebody help me find the toilet. I mean, we're like, what do I do? And it's like, so I'm not looking forward to that. Birmingham, though, quite a nice speed.
Yeah.
And like, there's this whole attitude that I've been getting from loads of people that I've been working with, and from Well, yeah, things like Bad Mag, and like BIM and whatnot, where they actually want to make Birmingham better. So instead of like say, I don't know, playing gigs and like being like basing themselves in London or Bristol or Liverpool, you know, all these other places, are cultural musical centers.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man, we could just make where we currently are better. And I vibe with that concept pretty hard because it's like, yeah, man, you could, you know, we could all try and move to California to chase the dream, but then you're gonna have millions of hobos in California being like, California, you know, where we could all just try and make the places that we're from and the places that we know better.
I feel like I don't know about you, D, but I feel like we're quite the same. You know, I have not been on a night out further than where we live, and yeah, like you say, it's like a different pace. I think every time when we go somewhere. I remember going to London back in like December, I think. I just looked up at these like tall buildings. I was like, "Fuck me!" Like I had no idea what I was doing, and like trying to get the tube. Well, that's another fucking question. I was just like asking random strangers, like, "Can you please help me?" I was like a child. I was honestly petrified. I had no idea what was going on, but I get what you mean. And I feel like a lot of like what you're talking about culturally with Birmingham as well. Like I feel like that needs to happen around North Wales as well. Like I feel like we've got so much to offer, like you guys have to offer as well. And like I feel like there's so many talented people up here that need to like get their voice heard out there, like you guys. But I'm blabbering on a bit there with that spiel, but
bring them on the show.
Yeah, like this is like again, this is a great opportunity for you to be doing that. You know, you can do that with this show. We might be. I mean, earlier you said we might be the first people that you've interviewed live.
Yes.
First live, yes.
Surely does not mean that we're going to be the last. And it's like, again, you can really take. You guys have all the power with this show to be like, hey man, this is actually what I think is sick. You don't have to do any like corporate bullshit because like you're not doing this for a profit. You're doing this for yourselves. So like, you know what I mean? You get to actually like enjoy that, and it's nice. And I'm hoping that we will be able to do a very similar same thing. And I want to gig around other places around England. Obviously, I would happily gig up North Wales and stuff. Like, you know, talk to us about venues up there because I'd happily.
Definitely.
But I also don't want to. I've definitely been in bands and projects that have tried to go beyond their means. So, like, yeah, sure, you can play a gig in, like, Manchester or whatnot, or you can play a gig, like, down south or whatnot, but, like, are you actually going to bring people to it? Because if you're not going to bring people to it, then why the fuck are you playing it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, like, when me and Dee started this during the very beginning of lockdown, this podcast, and, like, we were thinking what can we do and stuff like this, and to this day we still bicker about where we think this should head and stuff. But like at the same time, like our core thing is like just two lads who like to chat shit, and people just find this like mildly amusing, and like that's what it is to the core, you know. Like
it's a great formula to start with. Anyway, just keep incorporating that idea into it, whatever else you do.
Yeah, well, I see that with you guys. Like, I see like you guys have got great chemistry. Like, you're very close to each other, and it's like I think that's like I think that's half the battle. I think if you've got good people like I've got D, like it just makes things so much easier. Like you guys got each other. Like, you can imagine like the whole process of like writing to the post production, getting it out there.
Yeah, it's been quite fast. I think it's the fastest project I've ever been in, as in like producing content. Yeah, I think it helps, but it also just helps that we're all really like dedicated in what we're doing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I just wanted to ask you something about Tui songs, if you don't mind, and wanting to know the inspiration towards writing My Lover and Catching Z's?
So, not all of the songs that we've made, actually, to be fair. Sorry, this is context and pretext and whatnot, but we've actually got an unbelievable amount of songs in the works. Like, we've got probably somewhere, I think I counted it out the other day, and we've been writing more songs since, but I think we've got somewhere between 15 to 20 songs just on the back burner. And obviously, they won't be released until they are properly ready, and, you know, demos and whatnot would be nice, but you don't ever really want to put that out there until there's A, enough demand for it, B, you know, an actual place for it. But the two songs that have come out so far, My Lovers and Catching Z's, have been written by me, but all the other stuff that I've been writing has been, like, you know, way more of a group effort. Will has been, like, absolutely... I mean, I'm not sure how you feel about this, but you have been absolutely heading the charge, and you've been really, like, icing on the songs that are coming out so far. The next song is actually completely written by Will, which I'm so excited for, because it's a good one. It is honestly really amazing, and he's, you know, got his vocals on that, and he's really been singing, and it's just, like, sick, and it's amazing. So I want to say that just so that it doesn't come across like, hey man, I'm writing all of the songs.
Yeah, sure.
The songs mean, and like it's. But,
sure.
So My Lover is basically My Lover. I actually cannot really remember. I'm pretty sure that was I've gone through a breakup or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really actually have anybody specific in mind, but it does actually end up having meaning to me for people. Like what we were talking about earlier when I'm like, hey man, even if something's written without context in the first place, it's the meaning that you give it.
Yeah.
So for that, My Lovers was basically just like a very, very simple idea. There's a lot of that, which is obviously it's got like one lyric that is just reoccurring. One motif.
I find that very interesting, by the way. I like that.
It works as well. It really works.
Yeah.
Listen to it, even though it's the same thing. It's like, oh wow, I'm going through all sorts of emotions listening to this.
It's the music.
I love it.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm. See, you carry on.
Oh no, sorry. I was just trying to say, when you move on to Catch Z's, I just want to mention that I'm relating a lot to that song at the moment. Like, a lot. It's just wonderful. I find it hard explaining how exactly I feel. How I put them into words. So all I've got to say right now is I relate to your songs and I love them. I'll stop talking now because I'm just making an ass of myself.
No,
absolutely not.
I mean, that's exactly why we. Well,
that's
why we do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just want to do it.
Because it's really personal to us, the music, and it's just us like doing it and what we like. It's nice to have other people connect to them.
Yeah,
Definitely.
So I want to say first and foremost, the reason why you will be feeling things when you listen to that is like I wrote My Lovers and I wrote Catching Z's, and I'll talk to you a little bit about like Catching Z's because that's quite an interesting story.
Sure.
But the reason why you gotta, it's just amazing because if you were to actually hear the demos and the actual original, what I had written, what Martin had done on them, that kind of thing on these songs, it was so just, it's so goddamn dead compared to what actually happens after like works his magic. It's like insane. All that emotional, that journey that you'll go on. I find it really interesting through this interview because like Will's there talking about his past in cinematography, and it's like, yeah, that's why you'll be having those emotional journeys with the song that's only got one lyric, because you've actually taken into account people's listening experience. You're not just there like, I'm gonna play on a song and just have it, be a thing, and like, I'm gonna get the bass and write or whatnot, and you actually take into account way more than I ever could. So even though I did write the things for these songs, it more or less feels like I just created the raw materials. The actual songs themselves came from, just the absolute amalgamation of what you were doing to them, which is insane. Catching Z's, though, was written, and I am kind of proud of this. Catching Z's was written in 2 to 3 hours, I think. It took me...
Wow.
On my Instagram, I've got a video, and it's way back, but I've actually got the original Catching Z's, which you can go and find and watch. And again, you'll see what I mean when I'm like, the audio is just dead. Because just like, compared to what Will's done to it, it's just like absolutely dead. But it happened in 20 hours. It's more or less like you've already met Z, but this is my girlfriend Z, and this is the titular Z that I was failing to catch at the time, because essentially some drama happened, which meant that we were stopping. We were nowhere near as serious as we are now, but some drama happened, which meant that we stopped fucking around for a bit, and the pain that I felt from that is basically what made that song, and what made the harmony and the actual the raw materials for that song.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but you're welcome.
I like that. I like that a lot. Actually, yeah. Sorry, carry on.
You go.
I just wanted to ask about the artwork. Actually, I'm very interested about the artwork.
Motherfucker stole my question.
Sorry, babe. Sorry, D, but I got to ask about the artwork.
Yeah, that is my partner. Incredible artist, and
Sorry, bro.
No, she's a great artist, and I sort of gave her literally, I just gave her a bunch of like a color palette, and then sort of like an image in my head, and I was like, this is what I'm thinking of. These are the colors I want, and then just came out with that, which was insane.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, it's really. Because I feel like they really match the songs as well.
Yeah, I think it encapsulates what the meaning, like, to me when I look at the artwork, it's very fitting to what's being played. But like, is there like any hidden messages? Are you like MCUing the whole like artwork as well? Is there like any hidden messages or anything like that in them, or any meaning?
There is an attempt, isn't there? Kind of.
Maybe, yeah, I suppose so.
Like a zone, like an area.
Yeah.
In the artwork.
I think it's like little Easter eggs as well. Like,
little Easter eggs.
We don't really have many Easter eggs. Although, now you're saying that, now we're gonna have to start doing that shit.
Yeah, I reckon you guys should. I think it adds another like dimension to the band. Like, I think I think you should just go for it.
It's not an Easter egg exactly, but I found one. It's like there's an old Metronomy album which I based some of my production off, and the artwork on that looks astoundingly similar to My Lovers.
Oh right, okay.
So I didn't notice that.
Oh god, sorry. Oh fuck.
He's having night panics.
No, I was just remembering the song that sounds exact. Oh god, my pig's bit. Fuck. Don't even want that. Oh no, we don't even want that. That's not even. We're not talking about it.
You don't talk about it.
I don't want to talk about Beach, but I don't want to talk about that.
Talk about Tommy's party.
I don't want to talk about Tommy's.
So that's these. Eerily similar to a song called Tommy's Party.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Because you guys are just practicing, and I do this thing where I love recording. So I was like recording these guys, and I put it up on my Instagram story. And one of my other musician friends was like, "Hey man, this sounds very similar to this song. Take a listen." And I played it, and Calvert was like, "Oh my god,
It's the exact same goddamn fucking thing." And I was like, oh my fucking god. Because nobody would ever believe, like, I don't want to talk about it because nobody's ever going to believe that The chords aren't the same, and like the chords are the same, except for the last chord, which for ours goes back to the first chord, but for theirs goes and does something else.
Mhm.
Oh my god, it's disgusting. But the melodies are completely different, and I also never remember listening to that song. I like Peach Pit, and I've definitely listened to Peach Pit, but I don't remember listening to that song exactly. So whether I heard it and then accidentally did some shit like that, maybe, but it was not intentional at all. But if they ever take me to court, I've got no defense.
Oh shit, is that a cease and desist letter you just fucking got?
Yeah.
In this world of music where everything's so there's such a wide variation of music out there these days that it's very difficult to create something that doesn't sound the same as something else.
Well, all I'm saying is that in the 50s, like, everybody was using the same 3 fucking chords, so I don't see why. Completely fucked. To come back to another point, though, about the Easter eggs, because that's really interesting. I actually think we should start doing that.
Yeah.
Because
there is an Easter egg on the Catch Z's artwork, and we've put lovers on the laptop screen.
Ah.
Oh yeah, there is.
Really,
Yeah.
not subtle at all. To be fair, we can do better.
what's
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, does anybody remember what Thanos looked like in the original Avengers movie? Like in the post-credits scene? Does anybody remember what he looked like?
It looked nothing like.
Absolutely fucking nothing like what he finally looked like.
Yeah.
To the point where he turns up again in another fucking movie. Can't remember what it was, but this was before it's Josh Brolin, right? Who plays Thanos.
Yeah.
So this was before the Josh Brolin one. So he turns up twice in like post-credit scenes.
Mhm.
Although actually, I think the second one was in fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. Jesus Christ, I'm such a nerd. But it was one of those where in both scenes he looked completely fucking different. So all I'm saying is, I think we should start putting Easter eggs, right? And then be like, yeah. And we had that planned out from the start. Yeah.
Yes. I think you should.
I think that's a very good idea.
So like 15% of Storm season. You'll have the artwork and I do the photos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's girl season.
I think it's just like I suppose that's another thing. If you're starting off with a band, and like I think the best thing to do is try and get everything as close to house as you can, because a lot of talented friends, so put them to use. Obviously, pay them. You can, but it's a lot. It's a lot easier. I suppose it's because you trust them as well, so it's
of course.
a bit better.
There are pros and cons with things being all in-house, but the pros when you're starting out are so much like outweigh the cons, because you can just like, oh my god, so we do the art, we do that. It's the fact that Will does all of the production. So you were there like talking about like the writing to the production, and we've just got this like nice little like factory of almost just like, you know, one of us will write something and then Will basically just makes the song.
And then Mark will take 100% of the credit.
I'd take 100%.
Every penny from us.
Oh yeah.
Every single one.
No, but to be fair, you are fucking astounding. There's no way. There's absolutely no way we'd be like fucking. I don't think we'd be like anywhere where we are without you. So like you taking 100% of the credit. Probably should stop that.
It's very sweet. I think it's nice.
Drop it to like 90. You
90.
Give me and Will 5%, and then the girlfriends the other 5.
Is there like any musicians or songs that inspired you when you were younger, and that made you decide that I want to make music one day?
Mine, you take this one.
Me? Are you sure? Why are we doing a lie? Will can start, then I can go, and then Calvin.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so I'm just going to slap a few good ones in there. I'm going to say Gorillas for a start.
Absolutely.
Because Damon Albarn and the whole aesthetic he created around that band was phenomenal.
Mhm.
He did all the music himself, just in his little crackhead basement or wherever he lives. And he made absolute bangers. And then he gave them to a producer. And the producer's in the band as well. There's 3 people in that project. And there's the musician, the producer, and the artist who does all the animation, like the 2Ds and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the kind of thing I'm aiming for, really. To like adopt that role in the band where I also create some of the sounds and just kind of shape the way we sound as well as just write the songs with them.
Mm.
And then there's also like I want to say Nirvana, but very loosely linked with Nirvana.
Sure.
Nah, I'll be honest. I think having a loose thing is Nirvana's like something that touches your soul, so I wouldn't even be like worried about, because I fucking love Nirvana. Nirvana and System of a Down were like the ones for me when I was little.
Yeah.
But you can't remember.
So yeah, Gorillaz, Nirvana, and Radiohead. If I could pick 3.
Okay. Yeah.
You do it to yourself, you do. And that's what really happens. Sorry.
Oh yeah, me and the band really inspired me. I'm gonna have to say like Deftones, obviously, that they're my favourite band, and I think from listening to them, because I was into heavy music, but then like when I discovered them, it's sort of like it just had like a surreal sound to it.
Mhm.
It's like very atmospheric, and then that's when I delved deeper into like shoegazy stuff. And yeah, I think that's it. Just turned me into like, yeah, I really want to create something like this. This sounds so good.
Mhm.
So I just incorporate that into my drums. And the Scatman, yeah.
Also, like, I think I've got to be honest. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't talk about all the meme music you're into. You don't talk about the fact that memes are part of your life.
Memes, yeah. Memes are a big part of my life.
The
Yeah.
fucking Scatman, he put it on unironically the other day.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Unironically,
god.
the Scatman.
It starts
Yeah.
like, doesn't it? It's like a catchphrase you learn off your friend. You start saying it, but like ironically,
It's just
it becomes unironic just from the amount you use it.
yeah. Go on, you influences.
Influences, Martin. Of course. No. So my influences when I was like little. I don't know. It's hard to say because like System of a Down and like Nirvana when I was like fucking listening to my own music when I was like that age. But we always had music on in the house, and we were always like, "Oh my fucking god, Dad!" We always had music on about. It was a very important thing to us. So like when we were kids, we had like a Fisher Price. Do you know that one Fisher Price cassette thing that everybody had, and it had the little microphone thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
The telephone.
And fucking crazy that they made a telephone. The little talkie boy that was like fucking useless because it literally went cheap. But still, that as babies, we used to fucking chill out, like listening to that. But the only cassettes we had were my dad's old drum and bass cassettes. So like it was basically babies listening to like. And it's like my brother's literally fucking been a raver ever since, and I'm like, Fairs, can't really fault you there. When we grew up, we would listen to like more soulful shit or whatnot. Fucking, but yeah, influences for myself. Probably gonna say like, you ever listen to Primus?
No.
Fucking crazy band.
They did the theme to South Park.
Yeah.
Oh really?
You know that going on down South Park?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Les Claypool.
Oh right, okay.
Fucking god. He is like honestly one of my probably biggest influences from that time. Otherwise, it would be Animals as Leaders, Total Cinnabasti, who is like honestly incredible. And it's weird because he plays the guitar, but trying to incorporate that kind of musicianship into my own playing is like really big to me.
Yeah.
And then Thundercat's fucking like insanely good. But the thing that makes all three of those like musicians incredible isn't that they are so fucking good. Because being that good isn't really that challenging. You just have to practice. That's it. You just have to practice and get good. It's that they're that good and create good music, which is just like fucking mind-boggling because that's two completely different things. One of them is like, okay, so you just need to get really good at something. A craft is like building a chair. If you built a chair for 30 years, you get really good at building chairs.
Yeah.
But then like the other side is making a really fucking comfy chair and like deciding on how to find a good comfy chair and shit. And those two things actually have way less crossover than you'd think, but enough that it like really turns into just a really fucking good expertise and like a good area. So like I really want to be a great musician, but I also really want to be like able to make shit that other people vibe to. Because that's the whole point in music. You want to share.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You're getting there. You're getting there.
Hopefully. Fucking
I think it's very important. Like for me, like music is my religion, right? Like when I wake up in the morning, it's the first thing I do. I listen to music, and it's the last thing I do at night. And like, it just plays a very important part in our lives, I think. And like, I've got a weird broad range of like different genres that I love. Like one day I can listen to opera and like have a tear on, right? And then I can go listen to like heavy rock metal and then like some jazz, all sorts. I go to rap. And I think in a sense like that's a good thing. Like I can like that I like those like different genres, like I can be comfortable listening to them. And I think like that's the thing when I was listening to Storm Season, right? It's like I was trying to like place you guys in like a specific genre, but like it's almost not like it's impossible or anything like that. But like because you're like so like blended with other like all like these mixed different genres, you guys are just fucking magical. I'm just gonna start praying, like no, but like I just think you guys you do it so well, like, and I just vibe so easily to your music. And I think it's very important to be open to like different genres. Like I think you guys have done that, and it's shown in your music.
It's very important to listen to different genres. I think.
Yeah.
If you're a music enthusiast, anyway, it's like opening a new world every week because there's so much music out there and ethos.
Yeah.
It's like Nirvana are actually classed as pop music because of how popular they were at the time.
Yeah.
Even though the music before and the music after, maybe the music after, but the music before definitely wasn't of the same strain of music. It was a different vibe, wasn't it? What was it? Late 80s? What was going on then? David Bowie?
Oh, fucking! I hate it when people who are really good turn out to be rapists. But yeah. Yeah, not a nice one. But great actor. Hey man, Prestige was good. But yeah, no. So you had like what fucking down by the Parkers. That's a song that I don't know, but it's something good. You did have all that like 80s. The kids of America, oh whoa, we the kids of America. Fucking 80s music is so fucking good.
It's brilliant. I love 80s music. I love it.
God. I wasn't really into synths, and like recently I've just been getting so into fucking synths. Which, by the way, going off topic completely, but I think one of my favorite quirks about Storm Season has to be the My Lovers release.
Yeah.
That was fucking fantastic. That was fantastic. That song has no synths. No synths in it whatsoever. All the instruments My Lovers are like not acoustic, but actual sounding instruments, right? Run through effects. But in the bio, in the EPK for that song, it's very synthy sounding music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine had to put one word,
Oh yeah.
and that was synth. And then all of everyone who gave a review just knew where to go from there. It was just like, oh, the synth was fantastic. The synth sounds feel at the beginning of the track. I love at the end. There's zero synth.
Yeah, that was my that was entirely my fault. I think I'm trying to figure out a word. No, it was, I'm trying to figure out a word to describe the intro, and I thought sympathy, and then obviously I was like, oh yeah, that's sympathy.
Yeah.
It's synthy music.
Yeah.
You're getting synths from now on. That's
Too late.
fucking
Too late.
Synth up now, anyway.
I reckon you guys should just like overly put like just layers and layers of synths in there. Just like fucking just crash it down, man. And just put all the fucking synths you can.
To be fair,
Maybe.
nah. To be fair, it's the subs you've been putting in. I was initially really against subs because I'm like bassist and I'm like, you know,
A Don boy.
I have been. I was actually going to say Puritan. You know what I mean? Like,
gatekeeper.
absolutely. I really try to not be gatekeeper, but yeah, you end up being gatekeeper when you get to jet. Like, oh, really? Well, do you have... But, you know, but it's one of those where I really wasn't like into the idea of having subs, which is just like the right at the bottom. But then like, because I'm like that's my area. I'm the bass. Why am I?
I'm the bassist.
Like honestly, what we'll do is stuff, and like the amount of layering and the amount of like you'll find a place for your instrument and stuff. The amount of stuff you're like, it's just really, really nice. It's oh god, the song we're working on today. Fuck me, that sounds good. It sounds so good, and the bass is like there, very integral, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice the track together nicely, isn't it?
But like, my god, everything else that's going on around it is just like fan-fucking-tastic. It's like good stuff. So yeah.
Is that like nearly done, that song, or
even if it is done, even if that song is nearly done,
show me some more in the
it's not even that. It's actually the release schedule. Like even if that song is nearly done, it's not coming out for at least 2 months because because like because the next one coming out, we've said what's coming out next, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wait, I don't think we released the title.
it, yeah.
No, I don't think we announced it yet. We just said a new single's coming out soon.
I mean, so we've got. Can we just?
Yeah, just say it. Yeah.
Soft Block Love is the thing that's coming up next, which is just like
Nice.
It's gonna sound very nice.
I'm excited for it. I'm really excited.
This good one. Will wrote that based on experience he had, which parallels things that he's been feeling and stuff. God, he should be here. But he wrote that based on the experience he had whilst playing the Outer Worlds.
Ooh,
very good
game.
Yeah, my brother just finished it on supernova difficulty.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Yeah, he was like fucking having to quick save. Well, not quick save all the time, but he was like he was just like, yeah, man, I had to gun save so much. but yeah, no. So that one's coming up next, and that's the definite next boy. But after that, we're just like, don't know what's gonna come out after that.
Yeah, we got a couple we're planning on. We just sort of just choose between and which one we want to release next.
Yeah, because we've got like. I mean, I would like to do an EP would be nice, but the thing is, if we could just keep on doing like singles, that would just be like a nice constant stream of
releases. Yeah,
maybe some like episodes almost.
Yeah, and especially with the effect that you guys have been talking about with what's it called, the artwork.
Yeah.
If we did EP, I feel like that ends up being really reductive for the amount of artwork we can actually convey.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, it would be nice to just keep on doing single after single after single after single. It gives us more data to work with as well, which is
yeah. I mean, it's a smart move, I think, because it's like you're trying to wait for like next week's episode of Loki, and you just fucking you see like fucking hurry up like that. But I think what you guys have been doing with that, like, I think it's a good job.
Sorry, you mentioned Loki, and I want to ask, how much has everybody seen of Loki?
I haven't seen a single episode.
Anybody even care about Loki?
Don't
God.
not on the podcast.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Well, I'll put it to you guys in this way, right? I'll put it to you this way, okay? Before I started watching the series, I couldn't give I could give two shits about Loki, right? Like, secondary character, fucking, it meant nothing. But like, after watching this, I thought, I'll give it an episode a go, see what it's about. I was hooked. I was like, fuck me, this is like one of the best Disney shows going. It's like, this is it. I thought it was really good.
Killing it, but they fucking did banger after banger.
It's not like WandaVision. I thought that's a fucking drag.
Fuck off.
No.
Oh, I mean,
Did you say you didn't like WandaVision?
He's an idiot. Don't listen to him. He doesn't know what the fuck he's speaking about.
Yeah, this is coming from a Harry Potter fan, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just say that. You know what I mean?
You're saying that because I haven't seen any Harry Potter.
Harry Potter is a series that grew with a generation. I'm still impressed that they did that. They even got the angsty stage at the right stage in the evolution of people. That's insane. Nobody will ever do that ever again.
Not exactly timeless, is it? It's not going to go through the ages, through the generations.
Okay, but what is timeless?
Time.
I'll tell you what isn't timeless, Harry Potter.
Yeah. Personally, I've never been a fan of Harry Potter.
You know what?
Never. I've always been more like Lord of the Rings, that kind of stuff.
Yes. Not any. Who cares about a little boy with a Barry Snotter running with a wand? Who cares?
Barry Snotter, fucking hell.
Barry Snotter.
Silly wand, anyway.
Silly little wand. He wants wands. I've got my Magnum. I mean.
It would be nice if I feel like you could Harry Potter would have been solvable if they'd have just brought Mac 10s. Is all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, that I'd watch.
I'd
watch.
That's a
brilliant fucking idea. That is a brilliant idea.
It's Lord Voldemort.
You're not escaping this time, Harry. Okay, next question for you boys. I know we talked about symbolism and stuff with the songs themselves, but do you think is there any symbolism or a message you think that Storm Season is putting out there into the world?
Definitely openness in your own mental health, to be able to express.
Yeah.
The ability to express without stigma. I think that's quite an important message.
It should be, I think, the thing that we get from our ancestors and basically just life is this idea that you have to be okay at any given time, but it should be a normal thing to not be okay. Because the amount of problems that we now face that we don't really have much precedence for. We're first, second generation that has to deal with social media. Mm-hmm. We actually don't know. There's no long-term effects that have been studied on that. I'm talking decade-long effects. We have no idea how that changes the way that people perceive life. We're still the crash test dummies for this shit.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, PTSD was only something that people would have been suffering since millennia ago?
And solve it with Well, back in the day, they'll be like, "Oh, you're having bad thoughts. Let's see if this lobotomy would help."
Trypania skull.
So, like, the idea that we're now becoming far more okay with the idea of not being okay is, like, great, but it's nice to have cultural things to, like, signify that.
Definitely.
So, like, we are all people who, I mean, I think everybody probably suffers with their own shit in their own way, and you're never really gonna be able to talk about that or fuck with, you know, you're never gonna be able to discover deeper meanings of these things if you don't talk to other people about them. And even if you're not, I don't know, even if it's not a culturally appropriate thing, you still need to get it out of your own head. Otherwise, you're fucked.
Definitely. I think, like...
Okay, that's a weird on the dismount, that was.
No, I'll give you that. Yeah, okay. I was struggling. I was like, fucking... Fucked. Yeah.
I feel like there's kind of a healing behind talking about it and getting it out.
Definitely.
So it does help rather than just repressing it, because then you've got more than one mind working on this problem with you, kind of.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad that you guys are pointing this out because, like, it's a very important subject, I think. And like you said, it's not like just you're not alone. I've been through it. I'm sure Dee's gone through it. I know you guys have. I guys, you're openly admitting that you've been through it, and it's nice to know, like, the people that are watching and stuff. Like, it's nice for them to know that they're not alone facing these, issues. And if you guys want to help to us anytime, you want to talk to anybody about any problems, then come talk to us on the DAFDI'S page. We'll message you back with no problems. Even you three, you guys, you can message us anytime and we'll answer you, bros.
Thank you. That means a lot.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I was thinking about whilst we were saying something earlier about the mental health stigma and stuff. And have you guys seen Batman vs Superman? I know it's a god awful film.
Oh, I mean, I think the first viewing, we're talking Martha. How do you know that name? We're talking the first viewing was pretty awful. Second viewing, not as bad.
I just like the quote that Bruce Wayne says, or something about, like, I bet your parents taught you a lesson about, like, the world, and, like, it only makes sense if you force it to make sense, like the world. I can't remember how it goes, but it's like something along the lines. It's like you don't have to try and make sense of everything that's going on in the planet. I think it's a nice point to put out there.
Yeah, I get that. It's. I don't even know if I want to. Should I?
Well,
I'm a very deep thinker, and sometimes when we talk, that is me. That is me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird when. Oh.
Are we done?
There we go. There we go.
That bloody storm.
Oh no.
It's kind of weird when you think about it in life.
Just together.
Awesome.
This is what happens. What happens when you think too much? Everything gets fucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's kind of weird when you think about it in, like, an abstract way. How everything you actually believe in life is something will have been, like, believed by those before you, but the only reason why they believe it is because it was taught to them by those who came before. So, like, things have loads of deep meaning and significance, and it's not that they don't have that deep meaning and significance, but sometimes the root of some beliefs and traditions is fucking jokes, man.
Yeah.
For example, the Olympic torch. What do you guys think of the Olympic torch? You know?
I don't really follow sports. I'll be completely honest with you. I have no
Me
idea.
neither.
I have no idea what the meaning is behind it, anything like that. I'll be honest with you, bro.
It's like a big flame thing, and they'll do it at the next Olympics, and they did it at the last one. They do it, at, all the last Olympics. It was an original tradition, from Olympia. This flame goes to wherever it's going, and it's the actual Olympic flame.
Yeah.
It's actually a Nazi tradition.
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
The Nazis are the ones who brought it back to go with their whole 1,000-year Reich brand, which is like.
Are you absolutely sure this is a fact?
Well, if it's not, that's going to be fucking hilarious. Is all I'm saying. I mean, to be fair, I would. Yeah, I'd be okay with dying on that hill.
Okay.
So it's one of those where, hey, if it's not hands in the air, yo, I'm so sorry. I don't think they started the tradition, but they're the ones who brought it back, kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
It was the fucking ones before, but I can't remember who had the fucking Olympic Games before Germany.
No.
Do you see? I don't follow sports that way.
Weimar Republic thing.
But it's Minecraft. No,
It's not to pulse it back.
but yeah, so like where things come from in our history and whatnot, kind of ridiculous when you think about it like that. I don't know where this came from or where it's going, but
just goes on tangents. That's it.
Yeah,
just go on tangents.
Right, I'll bring it back for you. I'll bring it back, okay? I'm glad that you're saying that you were a deep thinker. I am a deep thinker as well, and I think sometimes being a deep thinker can be quite troublesome, right? Like,
massively.
Yeah, like even though you don't show it to anybody else, it gets to you, like you're over analyzing just the smallest little details, and like that I'm exactly like you. But I want to kind of like bring a question into that as well, where it's if you guys could visit yourselves like 5 years in the past now, you've revisited your old selves, what would you, and you had like your knowledge obviously, with what you know now, what would you tell yourselves?
Invest in Bitcoin.
That's a good show. That's a fucking very good show. Holy shit.
I'm not having much luck recently with my Bitcoin, boys.
I don't want to do it now because that shit's just gambling, but like invest in me. Like, no, this is going to be really for a bit, then it's going to be a fucking free for all. Okay, there's going to be a just everything. One coin, that's going to happen. That's a scam. Don't fuck with that. Okay? Just like,
what's Logan Paul's one?
Oh no! Don't fucking tell me Logan Paul has.
Yeah, he's got his own thing now. Oh,
Does he really?
Yeah.
Is it called Cunt Coin or is
Logan
it
Paul? What the fuck's it called? Bitcoin.
I hope it just. I hope that just fucking the value just dives.
Oh, Dink Doink.
Dink Doink.
Dink Doink, yeah, and it's got like a shit version of the the Microsoft Paperclip back on Word. They've got like a shit version of that as their fucking mascot, and they're trying to make memes and stuff, trying to be funny like Dogecoin. But it's just pathetic. And he's talking to his mate on his podcast saying, "Oh, have you heard of this Dink Doink thing?" "Oh no, I haven't. Tell me more." And even though they're investors in it and shit like that, it's fucking embarrassing to watch.
Oh, that is bad.
Oh dear.
Oh my god, that Twitter Dink Doink 69.
The fact that we're talking about it is probably only helping them.
Do you know what?
Yeah. Okay, let's
Will, if you could visit yourself in like 5 years ago, what would you tell yourself?
Probably compose and write Baby Shark.
You truly have a beautiful mind, you know that?
Or,
Christ.
you know, carry on. Made any mistakes.
That would be fucking wholesome. Visit it like 5 years in the future, just like some dude being like slightly older than you, and it's like, you're doing okay. And he disappears. It's just like, okay. He's like, honest. Yeah, well, what could you do? What could you say? Actually, I want to know what you would say first, because to yourself 5 years in the past.
I'm going to give a nice answer to this. I'd say,
Fucking kill yourself.
oh my god.
Podcast.
Oh,
Fuck you.
yeah. Yes. 5 years ago. Oh my god, where was I 5 years ago? Maybe try not to be as influenced. Try not to let other people influence you around you. I think that's easier said than done, but it's always a good thing.
I think that's a very good answer. I like
Yeah.
that.
Be a nice one.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say try not to be such an influencer.
Yeah, try not
And
to.
that would be such a weird ass.
Yeah.
The influence is because the influencer.
Go back and be like, hey man, try not to be too cool, okay?
Take the high power completely. It's not working. Not working for you.
I've got to ask, like, I really like designing T-shirts, right? And would you guys ever
Yeah.
release your own merch and stuff like that? Because I would 100% represent Storm Season.
Definitely, yeah, that's something we've been another avenue we want to go down.
Yeah.
I think wanted to, because the thing with merch is like, I want to make it look like something I'd really want to wear myself.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. So, but we definitely are gonna go down there.
Good.
Doing hopefully soon.
Ideal.
I think the artwork that you put already on those two, I think that'd be like a nice like first couple of beads put out there. I'd wear that.
Definitely, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, talk about bloody merch. Look at us. A couple of
No,
mugs.
I'm just asking because there's a lot of people that I want to support, and not a lot of them have merch. So I'm just asking the question, like, if you would have merch, like, what would you put on it and stuff like that? And you already answered it, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose artwork. Definitely artwork. I think probably try and get artwork dedicated just for merch as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, just jumpers, t-shirts, mugs. I suppose we'd better ask our followers what they'd want.
I think the cool thing about merch, and this is kind of like, it's scary because you really want to start just with simple shit. But the scary thing about merch is that you could do anything. And the best thing with merch would actually be to have the kind of stuff that isn't the average, you know what I mean? And the stuff that's going to be around so that people would see it all the time. So, like, this is a terrible example, but what would be jokes merch and be really, like, hilarious but good merch would be, like, I don't know, like a clock or a watch or something.
Yeah.
Like that kind of shit, which would be really expensive, but, like, once that's in somebody's house, they're always going to be like, oh, yeah, it's a Storm Season thing. Every time they look at the time, they're going to be like, oh, okay, that's going to remind them of us.
Storm Season?
Yeah. It's Storm! at fucking midnight, fucking like
It doesn't even tell you the time, but it rattles.
Fucking, what, 6 o'clock in the morning?
Rattles.
6 o'clock in the morning, it's like... Oh, yeah.
I reckon they should have like preset alarm clocks, so you never know when those alarm clocks are gonna go off. It could be like just like a 3:30 in the morning, like, fuck.
To be fair, yeah, no, If we had him going off at 3:30 in the morning, that'd be a reminder to go to fucking bed.
He's alarmed. My mother's alarm is important.
So, a non-related music question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Apart from music, what do you do with your free time? Like, how do you like to relax?
That's literally me right now.
Who's going first?
I'll say, obviously, just for me, biggest thing is just socialising with other people
Yeah.
and just having time to myself as well. Like, we're big video game players. Like me and Calvert play quite a lot. So I suppose just that, just I don't know, just activities like that.
Sure. Okay, cool.
Still just get Monster Hunter.
He does, yeah. He needs to.
I just got a Switch.
Oh,
Fuck,
yeah.
Nice.
he just decimated the shit out of Mario Odyssey. Like, fuck me, those levels did not know what hit them. They were like, yeah, it's hitting around, and it's like, give me your shit, bitch. It was just like, fucking, woo. I grew up playing Mario 64 on the DS.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, Mario, and they were like trying to hide stars and shit, and I'm like, you can't. You silly sausages. It was bad.
Is that like a full Switch you got? Is it the light?
Do you know what? I wanted to get a Switch Lite, but it's just ultimately a bit too shit. So I had to get like a full Switch.
Yeah.
I got it secondhand, so I'm like a bit scared that it's just gonna fall in half at some point.
Sure.
But it's man. But it's one of those where, like, fuck me, dude. It's like one of the most perfect consoles. Like, I still love PlayStation because it's where I was like raised. But Nintendo is always gonna have a special place in my heart. Yeah.
I think they've done like a really good thing. Like, I want to get a Switch myself, right? I'm not going around to it because one, they're fucking expensive.
Yeah.
But like, I really like that the fact like the thing is I wouldn't buy the lights because I really like the concept. Like you slide it in and you can play on the big screen.
Yeah.
I really like that fucking idea. Well, that's why I want to Switch.
Honestly, the light, I see why they made one. And if I had all of the money in the world, I'd buy a light and a standard Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. So I was like, I'll just get a fucking, and oh my god, honestly, being able to, it's so trippy having a console where you're playing it on this massive TV and you're like, wow, that's sick. Oh shit, I gotta fucking catch a train or something. And then you just turn it on the train and you got the exact same fucking game of where you left off. And it's like, whoa, okay. That is like, it's so fucking good. But yeah, no. So in my spare time, I am thinking, video gaming. I was gonna say masturbating, but
hey, if you do, you do.
We'll normalize it, but yeah. But yeah, no, it's just mostly video games, and God, I fucking love playing bass though. Like I do really like playing bass. It is honestly just like a calling. But yeah.
It's difficult for me to answer because I work full time and then I come back and I work on music.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Then on my down days, I just play video games. Like this weekend, I was playing FIFA because I'm fancy.
Actually, no, fuck that. I won't even have that from you.
I chill and I write music as well.
Cuphead. You're into fucking Cuphead? That's how 78% into Cuphead you've got. How the fuck is that even possible? It's just not possible.
How dare you out me for not having completed Cuphead yet?
I mean, Ed, how the fuck dare you not talk about being into Cuphead when you talk about
it's a casual thing.
It's
something that you just look at me and you assume it.
It smells like a big pussy game. It's just like Cuphead.
I've been tempted so many times to buy it as well. Oh. I do want. I will get it eventually because I love the artwork. It's so nice.
I actually sold mine.
Yeah, you
No,
did.
no, sorry. I sold my Switch and I still haven't finished Cuphead because it's too hard. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Oh yeah, sold. Yeah. Why did you sell the Switch?
Money was tight and I wasn't playing it as much. I'll be honest with you.
No, that's fair.
I
Well, I
play
didn't mean,
mostly
like,
on the PlayStation these days.
Let's be honest. He got berated by his mates about playing the Switch, and then he gave it away.
That's absolutely fucked. What you should have done, right, is you should have got a taxi over to their place, played Nintendo Switch the entire way, and then been like, "Oh hey, by the way, I was able to play games all the way here. You're fucking lame." And then played Switch whilst their house burned down is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because you could do that. You can't do that with PlayStation. Imagine the logistics of having to like travel whilst playing PlayStation. Ridiculous.
You'd say that kind of shit.
What car bombing songs?
We'll bleep that out.
Before they are a Japanese company.
Fuck's sakes. Fuck.
Dishonorable.
Fucking hell.
Stop, just change the topic.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
I need to stop. I need to fucking stop laughing first, bro. Fuck me.
Lauding the Switch this entire time, and then you drop that.
Drop that. Fucking hell.
No.
Too soon.
Okay. I suppose the last question I got to ask you, boys, is if it wasn't music, then what else would you be doing with your like lives? I suppose it's like similar to like what you do in your spare time, but like let's say Storm Season was something else, but a band. What would you guys be doing together?
Listen.
Yeah, I mean, man, for me, I'm not sure because, like, I don't know what would I be doing without music.
I'll be dead. I'm sure I'll be dead.
Probably.
See, I feel like when you like really like something creative, it's really hard to like imagine yourself doing anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like if your heart's set on it, you won't be satisfied doing something. But man, I don't know.
What did you want to be when you were a kid?
I wanted to be a cowboy when I was a kid.
Well, then there you go.
Okay, I'll be a cowboy. That's what I'll be doing. A cowboy.
Do you know what sucks? What I wanted to do when I was a kid is like completely. They were really fine things for a kid to want to be, but they were really, really gross things for an adult to want to be. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to own a sweet.
Please give us an example.
No, like I wanted to own a sweet shop, right? Which for a kid, yeah, sure, all your own candy.
Yeah.
An adult, why would you want a sweet shop? You bloody weirdo, get a real job. You know what I mean? Like kind of thing. But go to
Get a real job.
But then also, I wanted to be a Lego designer.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
I think that's.
That sounds like a sick job.
It probably would be. I won't lie to you. It probably is one of the sickest jobs on the planet. But it is one of those where, like, now Legoland, you can't go there unless you have a child with you.
Oh
And
no.
don't even.
What do you mean?
Fucking love Lego.
Oh yeah, no.
I just can't believe he's. Boys, why do you bring up Harry fucking slots? Oh, fuck off.
That was the only fucking Lego I had on me. My bus is there in Hagrid's house. Sorry. I really like Lego.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I had the Lego of Hogwarts, like the entire Hogwarts Lego.
Don't tempt me.
In the top corner, there was a knight. He had a knight character, and if you took his helmet off, it was actually Voldemort hiding in the armor. And I was like,
Oh,
What are you doing saying his name? Sorry, that's a little Harry Potter. Sorry.
he fucked us now, Will, for fuck's sakes.
Voldemort.
He who will not be named. That was so. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just like I didn't actually watch him as a kid, but like, oh my god, the first one was sick. Dude, does anybody have Harry Potter on the PS1?
I did play it, but yeah.
Okay, that was a sick game. The PS1 Harry Potter was a sick game. Also, anybody play Spider-Man on the PS1?
Yes.
I
Oh
don't
my
remember,
god,
no.
legendary.
I
Nah,
do.
that game was legendary.
Yeah, it
I
was
think better than Spider-Man 2.
Oh yes, I remember playing that one. That was fucking amazing.
with a pizza delivery thing going on.
Pizza time. Oh yeah. Yeah. What was mine's biggest inspiration? It was actually just the Bully Maguire scene. Just that whole montage. That's mine's inspiration.
So basically, Peter Parker was just working for Deliveroo, right? Like that's his like inspiration, right, in life. Just like swinging around delivering pizzas to people.
Absolutely.
Did somebody say DC? No.
Did you just?
Just eat. You know what really pisses me off is the new Domino's advert where they fucking yodel.
Do you know what? I've seen that, and it is kind of annoying, but I actually don't hate it as much as I would hate other things because it's actually the soundscape compared to other adverts. Like, other adverts are like, buy this thing. Oh my god! And it's like, yeah, what is it? Car insurance. You know, it's
Yeah.
just the fuck.
What the fuck's
Whereas
happened
the-
to the Just Eat adverts? They
To be
went
fair.
from Snoop Dogg to a fucking robot talking. Like, how the fuck does that work?
Yeah, the Snoop Dogg Just Eat advert was weird because it actually was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Just eat me. Stop it. And it's like, Jesus. Fuck. Jesus.
It was really good. I loved that one.
Oh my god.
Well, boys, I think it's about time we wrap this up.
But
First of all, I just want to say thank you for joining us in the Interview Today Storm season.
Definitely.
It means a lot to me indeed, to DAFDI'S. And we look forward to like interviewing you again.
Hell yeah.
thank you so much for having us.
You're very welcome.
It's been an absolute blast. Thank you.
It's been excellent, honestly. Talking to you again, meeting the. It's just what I needed. Thank you. I mean that earnestly.
Oh, my heart.
But thank you all who have joined us on the live stream today as well. Hope you guys enjoyed. And the next song they have coming out is Soft Lock Love.
Yes.
Which doesn't have a release date yet, but please be sure to check it out.
Yeah.
Send your love to Storm Season. And